Okay, let me start with this one. So this was my post, January 11th. I would say January OPEX is fake out, which happens to be true. The real gap up is in February 10th due to the BBBY announcement. Just warned option traders, right? So that was my post last week, right? So see, and then a lot of people, there's so much hype, and yeah, it's just crazy how people are so hyping things up. And then the people who play options, they get damaged quite a lot, right? So you just gotta be careful. So CDE point. Let's look out to this one, right? So this is a 2025 on the left, 2020 on the right. What I noticed is that since it hit the bottom after whole like Japanese carry trade, all that stuff, it start to find the bottom, and then you guys probably seen it that it start to making a higher low, having a huge volatility. As I zoom out a little further, and then try to look at the patterns and then fractals and how the market makers kind of use this compared to 2020. I noticed there's a few things, and first things was it was creating a higher low, very similar to that. But also the second thing was I noticed that especially when I pointed out the CDE, when you draw the line, it perfectly lined up, and after this E phase, it crashed, right? And then the next fractal is a huge pump, right? When I draw the channel box, it even like broke out of this channel box, and then really quickly just smash it down. That's the next fractal we have. Okay, so we touched this CDE phase, which is exactly what happened here. When you draw a line, it touches 1, 2, 3. Okay, although this area is a little wonky and a little weird, but that's kind of where we get, right? Like it's just and then this crash even more. So I'll bring it up my the today's post. That's kind of where we get, right? That was my live stream. I'm sorry. So so this is my post just now. I don't know what Ryan Coin is cooking here, but it seems like long forces are accumulating. So you guys probably seen yesterday that he took a picture with some guy from the UAE, right? He's like an investor and also look into a little further, and then he was kind of happened to be a guy who does spec deal, right? Very interesting guy. But anyway, so I do think that long forces is probably accumulating here, so giving a chance for them to buy a little cheaper price here before pushing this up, in my opinion. And the funny thing is, based on that last fractals, it was a lot slower. Not a lot slower, but maybe a few days slower. So it means that they want to run this thing next week. Okay, and that actually happens to be after Donald Trump inauguration, right? So something's gonna happen here. I don't know why, because that's the next fractal. We hit CDE. Okay, let me zoom in this one so you can just take a look all together. So as I mentioned, this CDE phase, which happened to be touching this all line, CDE points, and crash. We had a much more deeper crash than here. I don't know why, but I feel like they wanna amplify this thing. They wanna run this thing even higher. I don't know why, but STEM is they're giving more maybe an opportunity for the investors to buy cheaperly, right? And then they want to maybe with an announcement, maybe they want to rip this thing, right? So I have no idea what his plan is, but that's what it looks like. So so next fractal is gonna be that one, and then this peak will possibly hit on Wednesday. And then after Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, try to kill options, right? So anybody who play options, who are doing short-term, option tradings, just be careful that there will be a kind of like a really fast move here, which will happen in this area after this CD 8 points 1 to 3, it touches here, boom, crash, not crash, sorry, pullback. 1 2 3 CDE points, hit all the 3 points, and then a pullback. But this pullback was a lot larger than I thought, so it feels like they're switching up a little bit. So which happened to when you look at this C phase, there was a very sharp drop, which seems they're using something similar to this one. But the C, there was a little short drop, which happens to this one. So I don't know. There's kind of it's switching back and forth, but kind of doing exactly similar thing here. So I do think that the long forces or RC, whoever behind the team, who are the scene, they're planning something. As you guys know, he already RC already showed his hand that he's in the Donald Trump side, and then Pulte also, congrats to Pulte. He also today the Donald Trump give him like the directors of finance, right? So that's really, really good. So anyway, so all those things are kind of lining up here. So yeah, it's really interesting. So I do expect that some sort of a explosive movement or some sort of a catalyst events could happen, but there will be but just be careful that for the option trader, maybe they're gonna crash it back to maybe do like huge volatility, like there's gonna be sharp push up, sharp push down, things like that. But what I want to point out is that they're creating a channel box here, and then which hit this ABC phase, and then I think possibly they're gonna hit this level here, right? So I don't know if this will go to $50 because it was really fast, but I don't know what happened here. Something happened here, but I do think that yeah, it will hit maybe this in line with this channel box, which I drew F here, so it might touch somewhere like maybe 40 range, something like that. Something's gonna happen here. I have no idea. So that's kind of what I analyzed. After that, we need to find out how they're gonna form this thing after that. So after this fractal, after that is they're gonna go ups and down, but the incline level is gonna be a lot stiffer. So they're gonna start to doing that. So you need to really see that kind of thing. It doesn't go all the way down like that. Going through this whole channel box. Rather having bottom to the channel box, it has to be making a much more stiffer bottom, and then start to push things up when this thing hit the tip of the triangle face. So and then that's when the gap up happened here, and the RC announced his first stake. We are still Bad Bath Beyond shareholders are still waiting for the answers when the announcement gonna kicks in, and I do think that it's gonna be the February. The reason is that because as I wrote it down here, in February, I mean, if this is not delayed, we do have a BBBY final hearings coming up on February 4th. We have a February 3rd, which Ryan Cohen has to respond to BBBY versus Ryan Cohen cases. So there's two things line up here perfectly. And then after that, it normally takes about 10 days for SEC for them to file the SEC filings. And we might maybe find out maybe before then. So it will hit somewhere here that will fractally will go up to this gap up phase, and this gap up phase is based on the speed of fractals. I did point out that maybe near the February 10th will be the announcement, but right now based on the current speed of algo, it has been delayed, and then if they want to delay like that, which point out that it's not February 10th anymore, it might be somewhere between the February 20th, but I don't know if they're gonna announce it somewhere there. So I think near the OPEX week, so which is about here. February OPEX week is here, so I don't know. They might fast things up here. So yeah, we'll see. So we'll have to we can discuss this after we see this next week, and then how they're gonna move this thing here after that, right? Because that's the next fractal. So we have 1, 2, 3 and push out, right? So we gotta know how they're gonna speed things up and then and then shoot this up, right? So it really depends how they're gonna run this thing. So it really depends on if they wanna run this thing on February 10th, or they wanna gap this up next week after that, which is on the OPEX week, right? February OPEX week is the 17th, so it's either 10th or 17th, somewhere in the OPEX week, right? So by mid-February, we could see some sort of a gap up, and then that's due to the BBBY, Ryan Quinn, like some sort of announcement with a BBBY, and the short has to cover, and then it just create a whole gap up, through entire meme basket stocks such as GameStop, AMC, calls, things like that. AMC is interestingly, I want to move to AMC now. Let me bring the the post. So this guy posts that AMC 50 million shares offering is now complete, and then blah blah blah. So they said they finished their offering. As Jan 15, all 50 million shares has been sold, blah blah blah. Sure, okay, that's good, okay. But fractally, okay, I want to share something, because what I post, let me just bring my post about the AMC here, because fractally they might do something here, okay. So I mentioned, don't be deceived by AMC share offering. Market maker and short hedge fund possibly tank the price down to fill the gap at $2, 2.9 to $3, to manipulate the stock price for their accumulation before the run, as what you see RSI here in 2020 in the fractal setting. So I don't know. Yeah, 1,000 people see it, but only 3 people like this. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't like what I post here, but that's fine. I might be wrong. Maybe you're right. But what I see here is that the fractally speaking, right? It's not about what you saw from the filing, but as you know, this whole thing is like fraud, right? This is the fraud of Wall Street, right? This is like a whole like, I don't need to tell you about this one anyway. So what happened here when you look at 2020? When you look at 2020, this RSI was oversold here, right? Which what happened here? Based on the same fractals, which what happened here? Extremely oversold, right? Same area, right? What happened after that? It pushes up, which what happened here, right? And what happened after that? It touches this line, which is about this line, about maybe $3.80, something like that, right? It hasn't touched yet, but it's gonna get there. And after that, it's gonna crash. I mean, not crash, but it's gonna have a pullback, which happened here. But you know what's interesting? The RSI is moving up. It's making a higher low, which means that somebody is accumulating here. Okay? So this is the best examples that I wanted to share with you guys, that this is a fake, right? The price is, you guys remember, like, people talks about, oh yeah, the price is fake. This is a fake, right? The RSI is going up, making a higher low, continue moving up, and entering this gap up phase, and that's the gap up phase that we're gonna see near mid-February. You know what's interesting? With the same fractals, AMC dilute here, right? After gap up, I do expect that AMC could, gap up like what happened in May. Sudden gap up, like when GameStop gap up, AMC gap up. You know what I mean? So sudden gap up, but it's entering the same fractally, entering the gap up phase. Okay, and I do expect another offering here. Okay, and then we'll crash the stock price again. Either Marin will do whatever the market makers wants to do, right? The hedge fund, right? Because that's how company will survive, right? When you think about it, who did the offering? It was Goldman Sachs. What's Goldman Sachs is good at? They're good at lending shares, right? And then they take advantage of the interest, and then also they do like shorting, all that stuff maybe. But yeah, they're like hedge fund, maybe they're banks, right? So they're big banks, right? They're big finance. So I think AMC will do whatever they, I mean, they're gonna save that. They're gonna bring them money, and AMC, have a long term, to survive, right, in a good way. As a CEO, would you like to do that if the company has a more potential to survive? Yeah, why not, right? I mean, that's his CEO's job, not the, you know, not to kill the company, right? That they might have a deal on the table, right? Oh, I'll do this for you. Do you want to kill this company or not, right? I mean, I don't know, but anyway. So I think AMC, just be careful with anybody who play options. There's potential crash. I'm not crash, sorry. Potential one more pullback before heading into a gap up phase into February OPEX. Okay, and then there's gonna be a dilution. There are gonna be two times, in my opinion. I do expect a dilution on February 12th or somewhere mid February when this thing gap up squeeze, like what happened in May, right? It's gonna be a squeeze up to I do expect something around $13, $15. It's not gonna gap fill at the $17, but I think interestingly they left the gap on May when they push up to $11 and then suddenly come down, but they left the gap there. It was something around $12. And they're gonna go there to fill the gap, and then after that they might fill a gap, $20, 17 to 19. I call it 20, and then $40 gap in May, if they're not, delayed this thing, right? Because like I said, they might slow this fractals. They might slow things down. But anyway, that will be the 2020 January squeeze, right? So I don't know how they're gonna run this thing. I don't know how they're gonna have a catalyst there, but something's gonna happen there. Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe a BBY comeback or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know what will cause. Yeah, the gap up will cause. Yeah, it will be related to BBY, but what caused AMC run like crazy by May? Like what? Like, will that be earning? But I don't know. I have no idea. Even GameStop, maybe GameStop do another squeeze there. I don't know. But something they're gonna prepare something here, in my opinion, for AMC, because they want to run the Jan squeeze. So yeah, we'll see. We can talk about that later. But let's focus on this one. So yeah, there will be another manipulation. So just watch out for that. For AMC. I think that's pretty much it. Did I? Oh, I forgot the Siri. Okay. So the Siri, did I post Siri? No, I didn't post Siri. I mean, Siri is not really interesting yet, right? Maybe yeah, people really don't play Siri, or they don't really pay attention about Siri yet. But I'll probably do more posts later on when things get interesting. But yeah, Siri seems tracking pretty fine. It's doing same kind of fractal here. Although stock price is down, it's actually making a big. I mean, RSI is moving up like crazy. So, which means that somebody is accumulating again. It could be Warren Buffett. I don't know why Warren Buffett is accumulating so much. But that's kind of what I see here. The bottoms are kind of moving up, right? This bottom, which means that somebody's accumulating. Which what happened here, not here. Sorry, this create a bottom M shape. This is kind of like this is 8 hours, by the way. So, but yeah, this kind of accumulation. It's moving slowly, but yeah, they're kind of doing something like that. So yeah, maybe they I want to see if this thing pushes up like that. I think they're like here or something. Yeah, they might be here, something like here or something. So yeah, So I want to see this thing pop, right? Like GameStop pop, right? I show you last week. Sorry, next week. Like if something happened, GameStop pop, maybe Siri pop, or whole thing pop, right? AMC still has some more to go, and I do think that they're gonna make that by next week as well. So it's the same way that GameStop will pop, right? So interestingly, it's doing same thing, So yeah, that's Siri. I think Siri will get more interesting when this thing will enter into April. I think there's earning there, but they're gonna do something. I don't know. We'll find out more about Siri. I think yeah, it got the date got pushed out because the algo has been a little bit slow. That's what market maker does. It's not my fault. People kind of bashing on me that your dates are little off. That's I mean if I'm 50 like 100% correct, then it's I should be market makers. I should work at Citadel, not working here. You know what I mean? So I'm not market maker. Even maybe market maker, do they know everything, every stocks? I don't know. But we're just following what they're making. We're trying to figure out what they're doing, and then based on what they're making, they're gonna have a more data printing all these candles, and then when these candles are complete, then it's much easier for us to kind of figure out, okay, when will be the next fractal is. So yeah, for now, things are a little slow, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. That's what market maker does. That's what maybe they don't have a liquidity, into entire market or something. I have no idea, but they're drawing something out to really time things out with the politically, Donald Trump kind of step in, suddenly the Hindenburg research shutting down. It's really odd. I don't know why. Something is really something is there. It's really about the long. I mean, it's really about the forces versus forces kind of fighting each other, and I feel that. So yeah, something is definitely cooking here. So yeah, Siri is a little boring, I know, but it is what it is. We are gonna have a fun time. Maybe by April or May. Oh yeah, maybe May. Yeah, before summertime, you're gonna have a nice fun time. Yeah, entering to May, that's when also AMC entering to Gen squeeze phase, same as Siri. So that's really interesting. I don't know why. I don't know why the market maker set it up that way, but that's how I look at Siri, and that's how I look at AMC. That's how I look at how's GameStop looking in May. GameStop is also yeah, GameStop is also doing something in May after this thing. Pullback in April. Yeah, everything pullback in March and April. Okay, so pullback March and April. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, if you do a like option trading, yeah, maybe do puts here, right? Siri pullback, GameStop pullback, AMC pullback, huge. March, April. Something happened in the market I don't know. Why March crash? Does anybody know what's going on in the March? I don't know if there's gonna be some politically, if there's any events going to happen in March. If anybody understand what's going on in March, please comment down below. That will be really helpful. Why crash in March? I have no fucking idea. Is it FOMC meeting on March? Why crash on March? So they're gonna run this thing February for sure, but why crash in March? They need liquidity or something? Yeah, just be careful March, April. March, April is the crash time. That's what based on my chart. So I don't know, it could be due to the I don't know, maybe some political events or I don't know, big maybe rate cut or something. I don't know, something's gonna happen here. I have no idea, but just be careful between end of March to end of April. There's gonna be a huge dip. End of March, end of April. Yeah, same thing is showing T Siri, same thing is showing in AMC. What? But why? Why March April has a huge crash or huge pullback? If you say that, if anybody has an answer, please comment down below and share with everybody. Why crash? All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. What happened in Nvidia then? Let's see. March and April. Let's see how much April and March effects on the Nvidia. This is February, March. Okay, so Feb, March. Nvidia doesn't crash there. Like, am I tracking okay? Like, I don't know if I'm tracking right one. It's a little. You know what? Let me double check because it's a little weird that I might, tracking something a little off here. 1 second, because it should follow. Okay, maybe I was tracking the wrong one. This is 2021. Okay. Maybe it's gonna track this one because I don't seems to track the right one. Yeah, it might seem like maybe it's like this one. 1 second. Because I tracked this 2017 and doesn't seems to have a correct one. Then this is the okay. Jan, Feb, March, April. That's weird. No, this is not it. I have to go back to 2017. Sorry, 207. This is 19. That's pretty much two. Yeah, that's not it. Maybe like that. Yeah, 207 crash. Yeah, so I mean they might use a completely different pattern here. But there's gonna be a crash. That means there's gonna be whole GameStop, AMC, and Siri pull back that much. That means there's gonna be a crash. But what makes that pullback? Like what? Like does anybody knows? Like what kind of event's gonna happen there? You know, maybe this one, right? Yeah, I think this is it. 1, 2 here. So this is but this hit the. No, I think this is a fake out. Yeah, I think it's like this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. So Jan, March. Yeah, there you go. March crash. There you go. There you go. Oh, shit. There you go. Yeah, I was like, yes, because I was tracking something. I was tracking different fractals. Maybe I was like, yeah, where did I find that? And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look like it's following the March April crash. And it's like, what am I tracking here? It's like something's off. Okay, this should be it. Yeah, there you go. So Nvidia crash on March April here. So let's check it out. It's like so messy now. I gotta clean up because I've been using this regular and then Lorga, what is it, Lorga Medic or something. I don't know. Yeah, I was kind of switching back and forth, and I just come back to regular one and then I did find out things a little bit more better in a certain way. So I stick to the regular one these days, but that's why there's a lot of messiness happening here. So let's take a look. Let's take a look what's happening here. So Nvidia will continue to crash until in April. Not April, January 27th. So Nvidia, yeah, that's kind of more like it. Okay, so Jan 27th. So crash end of the month, push back up all of a sudden to March. So it's like dead cat bounce. It's like March, early March. Yeah, that makes sense. So I think BBBY will come back on March. right? Because a lot of people kind of speculate like when it's gonna happen, but something's gonna happen to the market that will melt down the whole market, and that's because of the Bed Bath Beyond. And then and people be like, "Are you nuts?" No, I'm not. I think that's the power of the that's the power of the naked shorts. You know, it just hit the market, right? Because usually the short squeeze happen when I look at the Hertz events. It ran for like a couple months, right? So imagine like if you do where's Hertz? Okay, so I brought the chart. Let me show you the chart here. So this is the Hertz. Hertz kind of squeeze happened in OTC, so I don't think it really hurt the entire market, but and I think the market cap, I don't know how. I mean the Hertz case is gonna be smaller, to be honest, than Bed Bath Beyond. I mean, this is a Ryan Cohen play, right? This is RC's play, and I mean, yeah, you guys already know, how big it's gonna be, so I'm not gonna explain here. But when you look at the Hertz case, after they exit Chapter 11, there was a giant short squeeze. This is not a gamma squeeze. There's no option chain here. So this is a giant short squeeze from about $6 or $7 to up to $34. Just one hit, boom, that's a short squeeze. So imagine if BBBY comes back, there's gonna be a giant short squeeze, right? If the short squeeze happen not in OTC but in like, let's say, Nasdaq or NYSE, whatever, I do most of them. It'll probably come back in like NYSE, I think. But anyway, if that happen, right, it will melt the market because the investors are pulling money. Market makers are, liquidating their assets to cover their short positions, and then they don't even know the impact of how big it's gonna happen. But that's what I see. The March and April have a crash. But when you look at the Hertz case, so they file Chapter 11. The Hertz exit Chapter 11. By the actual filings, it came out mid-June, but their actual shares come back in July 1st, and that's squeeze, right? So this is squeeze happened because their new shares comes back, and boom, squeeze happened, and then people will sell, right? And then maybe the short hedges will also short the stocks. So both of them happening and then crash, right? But it will, hit this kind of find the bottom here, which what happened this level, and then push back up. And this entire month, it takes about 2 months, right? From July to November, right? So, actually this is 4 months, sorry. So this whole thing, maybe this is 2 months, and that's another 2 months, So, that's the thing. I think some sort of events will happen between March and April, okay? That will crash entire market. And what the cause of it is BBBY. Okay, that's what I think it is. I might be wrong, but because imagine like RC announced his, he's about to announce something. Everyone's waiting for that, and that's BBBY. And then it normally takes about 10 days to file SEC filings from the, for the Bed Bath Beyond, BBBY. They need to file something after they announce something, and after that, 2 weeks later, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the shares to come back, right? So when you look at this, for example here, somebody post this one. After approval of merger, approximately 2 weeks between delisting the stocks and this one, there was a large beer mergers in the history, right? And then it takes about 2 weeks, right, for the shareholders to receive new shares and cash, right? And then 2017, DuPont and Dow Chemical, after merger approval, it takes about 10 days, suspend the shares, and then company receive shares. the shareholders of the two companies to receive the shares of new created Dow Dupont, right? So it takes about 10 days. This one also, after merger approval, takes about 10 days. I mean, this one is about 3 weeks, right? This one went through the butterfly transaction, which is what happened to BBBY. Their waiting time is also about after cancel those shares, receive new shares. Gaps about several days. So maybe sometimes it's slower. Sorry, it may be faster, but when you look at the general the time that the shareholder has to wait after the filings happen, and then the approval of merger, it takes about 10 days. So I do expect that after 10 days, something's gonna happen here, and then melt the market, and that will be the Bed Bath Beyond, right? Yeah, it will crash minus 30%. That's crazy. I mean, if that actually happens, and that's not it, right? This will continue to go down this much. It's crazy. Like, there's gonna be a gap here. Yeah, there's still like gap here. I don't know if they're gonna fill this gap, but maybe they're gonna fill this gap. But who knows what's gonna happen? So, yeah, really excited for February and March, April. Yeah, something more exciting is coming up here. March and May. May is the squeeze for AMC. So Nvidia also crashed May, June. So it's crazy. So I think this is BBBY, March to April. That's BBBY. So I'm gonna write it down here. So BBBY comeback. Okay, March, April. And then May squeeze. May and June is the AMC and Siri squeeze. AMC Siri squeeze. Okay. And then the final squeeze is in end of the year. So well, I mean, we can talk about that later on. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. So hope this helps, and I'll see you guys in next updates. Have a good night.